Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Luby, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We are pleased to be in conjunction with my former colleagues from the Sun Sentinel to present a blind taste testing of matzo ball soups. For the Sun Sentinel has been running these best of food competitions for, I'd say going on for almost a year. I don't know. I've lost all track of space and time. But here we are. We are actually at 26 Degrees Brewing in Pompano Beach, which is a place that seems maybe unlikely for a matzo ball soup competition, but it is neutral ground. And we have 5 finalists, 3 judges, and only 1 champion will be crowned today here on the Lunchbox. Let me first introduce the great judging panel that we have assembled to help us today. And I am going to be sitting out. I have recused myself, unlike Supreme Court justices these days, because I have a conflict. One of the finalists is a Lunchbox sponsor, so it behooves me, because I still have some ethics, Dan Serfer, that I am sitting out. And this comes from a lifetime in journalism. Meanwhile, active journalists, we have Lois Solomon, who is a features reporter for the Sun Sentinel. Thank you for being here, Lois. How are you today?
I'm very glad to be here.
Great. And then we have the new editor of the Jewish Journal, which is a Sun Sentinel publication. I think it comes out once a month. Is that
once
right?
a week?
Once a week. Oh, yeah. It's a weekly. Jessica Tzikas is the relatively new editor of Jewish Journal. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And last but not least, we have friend of the show. We were at Blue Collar last month, and he's wearing his blue collar hat because he's a blue collar guy. Danny Serfer, noted chef and restaurateur, and also maker of matzo ball soup. Danny, I understand that you've brought some, but we didn't want to muddy the waters yet. We're just going straight to the finalists. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. I just wanted to see how mine would compare. So,
okay. Well, we've already had a disagreement because in loading up the show on the Let's Eat South Florida group. Welcome to everybody on Let's Eat South Florida, and if you're tuning in from the Sun Sentinel links today, thank you. But I spell matzo balls Matzo, because I think that's the official AP style. And but you say you're a matzo with an A guy?
I like A. It's easier. I think it's easier for people who aren't familiar with it to wrap their head around it.
And what do you put on your matzo? Cream cheese or butter when it's Passover?
Oh.
I didn't mean to stump you. Just don't say ham. That's not very kosher.
I think cream cheese would be better.
Yeah, I'm a cream cheese guy. I know people that are
all
like
about
butter.
And we're just coming off Passover, and I think that explains the timing, as we had Passover a little late this year, and matzo ball soup is on my Seder table, but without all the stuff. It's a different style of matzo ball. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to kind of get right into the judging, and we're going to call this soup number 1. And the way it's going to work is we're going to be sampling the 5 different finalist soups. And I will just give a quick rundown of the 5 finalists in alphabetical order. We have randomly assigned soup numbers. And then what we're going to be doing is the judges are going to be giving some comments, giving a score from 1 to 10. And at the end of the day, hopefully we'll have some sort of consensus and, be able to award a clear-cut champion using a 5-3-1 point system, that whoever has the top ranked soup, that's 5 points, and we'll coordinate among all the judges. You don't have to worry about this. All you got to do is worry about seeing if your favorite wins. And I already, kind of did a preview post on the Let's Eat South Florida group this morning, just with pictures of the 5 finalists and their natural habitats. And it already started a food fight, ball brawl, whatever you want to call it, because people have, it's very subjective. I mean, what does matzo ball soup mean to you, Lois? I mean, is it something that was, I guess, ingrained in part of your family history?
Yeah, for sure. And I make my own soup today. It's so simple. You're basically just boiling a chicken. But everyone loves it. Whenever I make it, it's just such a hit. I throw in carrots, celery, onion,
Mhm.
and that's really all it needs.
And do you put noodles or luchin in your soup or just the matzo ball?
Just the matzo balls.
Okay, so again, we have different kind of styles,
Yeah.
and we'll be seeing that among the finalists today. And wait, you brought soup, Danny brought soup. We're gonna have another judging after the finalist judging. I didn't even know that. I would have cooked the bowl of soup. But okay, the 5 finalists in alphabetical order: Ben's of Boca Raton. Then I believe it is Grandpa's of Dania Beach. Then we have Top Hat Deli of Fort Lauderdale. Then we have 2J's, which has multiple locations. And then there's 3G's, and I might have got the alphabetical wrong, but 3 is a number, and maybe it should have gone first. But 3G's is in Delray Beach, longtime popular mainstay deli there on Atlantic Avenue. And that's been there since, I think, 1982 or something like that. So that's been around a long time. All right. Before we let the soup get completely cold, let us dig in. We will have the first bowl of soup. And I'm going to just give a little play-by-play here. This soup, it looks like it is what you call a chock full of goodies soup. It has big slices of carrots. I see celery. I see chunks of chicken, white meat chicken without bones. I see also a matzo ball, and I see noodles, but they Dan, you want to describe the noodles? And well, I'll first let you taste the matzo ball, but it looks like more of a spaghettini type.
Yeah, they're very thin noodles.
A thin noodle, a vermicelli, or a kind of like a pasta.
These are the noodles I serve my soup with.
Oh, hold on, you got to get the mic
These
up.
are the noodles I like to serve my soup with.
Really?
The thin egg noodles.
But okay, yeah, all right. You're a thin noodle guy.
Oh, for soup. Yes.
For soup, yes. Okay. Luby is in the background. He is headset list today because we have 4 judges. I mean, 3 judges and me. We only have 4 headsets. Maybe our budget eventually will out. Now, does the board take 5 headsets? I don't even know what the board is equipped to take. No, 4 is our max. We've got a packed house here. We got Melina DeRose, the features editor of the Sun Sentinel. We got Carrie Bennett, who does a lot of stuff judging the competition. I mean, she's been writing up these competitions for the last year. She's the one who actually does the final feature about who's the People's Choice winner. And again, this time we've got 2 components. There's going to be a People's Choice and a Judges Award. We also have Amy Beth Bennett, photojournalist extraordinaire, that is taking some photos that's going to be preserved for posterity and used in the Sun Sentinel. All right, enough of my yapping. Let's just go quickly around the horn. Jessica, what do you think of soup number 1?
I like it. I'm, no offense, but not the biggest fan of thin noodles in my matzo ball soup. I like the thick noodles.
Okay.
It's just harder to eat sometimes, but I like the broth, and the matzo ball is a good consistency.
Danny?
I'm a fan of the thin noodles.
What about broth and the bowl?
The ball is a little dense for my liking, but it's still very flavorful. And the broth is good. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Lois?
I agree with Danny. The matzo ball is a little too firm for me. I like a softer matzo ball.
Soft ball. And this is getting into subjective things here about and Defo, one of our co-hosts, who he's a guy we talk about in matzo balls. There's 2 kinds, and firm or soft. And I use the term sinkers and floaters, which I think is common expression amongst boobies everywhere that are cooking with matzo ball soup. And you prefer a floater.
Floater, 100.
And do you use seltzer to make your matzo balls a little bit fluffier, or
Seltzer and baking powder?
Baking powder. There's the secret. We got chef's tips here for you. Lois, you make your matzo balls. Do you also firmer side, or are they sinkers?
They're firm, but I do make it from a mix.
Okay.
I admit the truth.
Is that cheating?
I know. Some people would be very judgmental.
I do a mix too. They're good. They're
Yeah,
good,
they're just as good.
Wait, Jewish eaters being judgmental? Who knows? Yeah, so I think everybody just, again, kind of put down your score. I know it's hard for the first one because you're going to be trying to figure out how that compares, but this is our baseline score. And we'll have the Melina and Carrie prepare soup number 2 for us. We're going to do 2 soups, and then we'll also talk about, Jessica, do you have matzo ball memories? I don't know what your background is, but
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on matzo ball soup, and I always like making the balls with my mom is a memory, and now my daughters do it with her. So That's always special.
Wait, you mean you were able to get the recipe out of your booby or mother? Because mine wouldn't give it up, and
Well,
so now
we use the box. My
Oh.
mom did, my grandma did, so we're
Oh.
box people.
they're box people. Chef, restaurateur Dan Serfer, what do you think of the boxed method?
It's the box is the same thing. It's matzo meal. It's the same thing as just matzo meal.
Okay.
The instructions are the same. It's just the box comes with the packet of bouillon, but like the actual crumb is just matzo meal.
Okay. So when you get matzo meal, you just buy a box of matzo meal. Has there ever been a chef who's actually gotten boxes of matzo and put it in a Cuisinart, or is that not matzo meal?
One year I forgot. One year I was making it, and I forgot to buy matzo meal, and I waited till the last second of Pesach, so I had to grind matzo, and the difference was zero.
Did you
Not
feel
worth
like
it.
you were back in ancient Egypt when you were grinding your matzo?
I don't understand how we don't have time for the bread to rise, but we have time to make soup.
This is a good point. That might be one for the wise
The
son
Talmud.
or the one of the prophets and rabbis that always discuss and dissect everything.
Can I run? I gotta run to the kitchen real quick.
Yeah, you can run to the kitchen. We're gonna have soup number 2 in a minute, and then I guess just introduce yourselves. Also, what's your background journalistically, Jessica? I know you just started at the Jewish Journal, and
Yeah, I've been with the Sun Sentinel like 2-ish months, maybe 3. I was born and raised in Boca, so I know all these restaurants pretty well.
Mhm.
Journalistically, I've worked for Modern Luxury and Wear magazine. I lived in Philadelphia for a while. Never found a good matzo ball soup there. Not as
not
good
in
as
Philly.
here. I
thought
mean,
there's some.
they do have. There was a Schlesinger's Deli was right around the corner for me. They had a really good soup. But
Okay. And when it comes to like deli meats, do you have do you prefer pastrami, corned beef, or none of the above? Turkey.
I'm a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not big on the meat, so
Okay. And Lois, just tell people a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing at the Sun Sentinel and how long.
I've been in Sun Sentinel 26 years. I've had a lot of different beats.
Wait, 26 years. That's 2 bar mitzvahs you've been there for.
Oh, you're
2
right.
times 13. Yeah.
That's right.
So
That should
mazel
be a
tov
lucky
to
number.
you.
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
I made 30, almost 31, and then I got the pardon from above. So
Oh, I remember. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. So but now you focus a lot on what? On different issues and.
Yeah, in features, I do a lot of different stuff. I have my Ask Lois column, which was bigger during COVID. People sent in a lot of questions about the vaccine. That slowed down a little bit. Now I write a lot about restaurants and things to do. I write a lot for the Jewish Journal. I've been having a lot of fun finding stories from the Jewish community.
Excellent. Okay. And we are about to get soup number 2. I guess just one thing, everybody save your spoons because we have 5 soups and only I dug out the soup spoons from my pantry today because I know here at 26 Degrees Brewing, which by the way is I believe is 2600 East Atlantic Boulevard. I always get them confused. Avenue is in Delray. Boulevard is here. And this man right here, Dan Serfer, besides running and operating Blue Collar
Thank you.
Restaurant and
Thank you.
Mignonette Restaurant in Miami, you also have recently undertaken a project here. Just tell people about it.
Oh yeah. So I grew up with one of the owners, and our children are best friends. And the brewery's been around for 10 years. And 5 years ago, he said, "I want to open up a kitchen and restaurant inside the brewery. Can you help me?" And I of course said yes. And we developed a really great menu, I think, that is very brewery appropriate, that people are saying nice things about so far.
And again, that kitchen service now, it's offered every day that
Yeah.
the brewery is open, which is
Lunch
7
and
days
dinner
a week.
7 days a week.
Lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Come on out and check it out. We'll talk more. We're going to come back here later this month for a full-on, exploration of the new food items here. I know you're very proud of it. You were telling me about some of the things. Your best one is like a cheese.
It's like a hand pie. We call it a brewer's pot pie. So it's like a warm water crust, and inside the crust is like a chicken pot pie with chicken, prosciutto and leeks, or ground lamb and peas. And we're very, very proud of those 2 dishes.
Sounds like it's good pub grub here to go along with the all the terrific brews. They got all kinds of styles, of course, the IPAs, the stouts. We're gonna again when we're back here later, we'll talk with Jonathan. All right, judges, time for soup number 2. and I will describe it. It looks like it's got some noodles in it. It's got some carrots in it, and it looks like a very fluffy matzo ball. It also looks like the matzo ball is flecked with pieces of dill, and it looks like the noodles, I would describe them as the medium-wide egg noodles. This is soup number 2, and I don't know if anything is hot enough, but again, we are not judging based on heat because we got all these soups assembled from out of here, and we don't want to start messing around stoves and pots and pans. I know that some people are very persnickety about the temperature of their soup. My dad was one of them, Dan Serfer. What were you telling me before the show? That
I don't send anything back in a restaurant because I'm a restaurant man and I feel for it. I never send anything back except soup that is not hot enough.
And
it's not, I need soup to burn me.
My dad was the same way. If he didn't get, it was 2 things. If it's not a hot cup of coffee or not a hot bowl of soup, he would be having his hand up and say, "Excuse me." And it is the old Seinfeld line. It's a classic episode about the sea was angry that day, my friends, like an old man in a deli sending back his soup. Lois, what do you think of soup number 2?
The matzo balls needed some salt,
Mhm.
but I like the consistency, and I also like the way they chop the chicken and the carrots kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I like this one.
And what do you think of the noodles?
Oh, the Luxemkugel.
Well,
type
yeah, they're
noodle.
medium
Yeah, I
egg
like them.
noodles. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
And again, the matzo. What? I'm sorry, Luby is laughing because he knows I have a thing. I have a very particular interest in the kind of noodles in my matzo ball soup. But that's my. Well, I'm not going to say cross the bear because we're talking about matzo ball soup. Jessica, what did you think of soup number 2?
Love the noodles. That's like my ideal noodle. But I agree with Lois. I thought the broth is a little salty and the matzo ball a little not salty enough.
Okay.
But the chicken's good. I like the size. Vegetables good.
Texture of the matzo ball, it looks soft.
It's soft. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it could be like a little denser. It's
Okay.
a little soft. For me.
Danny?
I'm a fan of the other noodles. I do like the
Yeah.
I do like the broth. My matzo ball maybe is a little raw and not.
Oh, raw.
Yeah, it's a little
You're
raw.
saying raw. Like, how do you determine rawness of a matzo ball? That is
Like
just
look at the center. It's raw.
okay.
It's not like
that would be
didn't cook. So mine's a little hard.
Now it's funny because
But it's weird because I was very excited about this one because the outside looks like it's going to be very light and fluffy,
right.
but the inside was.
So a little inconsistency
Yeah.
on the matzo ball itself, where you have that kind of fluffy light exterior leading to a raw, dense center. That doesn't sound like a winning formula to me. But again, you guys are free to score it on your own. And we're going to, again, food is so subjective.
It's like
And-
sushi matzo ball. I like
Yeah.
sushi.
Okay. Now, and the other thing is our friend Jeff DeForest, he kind of ridicules matzo balls because he says matzo balls themselves really usually don't have any flavor. And he kind of compares it to tofu. And, no offense to anybody, but he says that matzo balls are the Jewish equivalent of tofu. So he coined the phrase jufu, that matzo balls should be called jufu because like tofu, but you disagree, huh?
Did you ever see the movie The Last Jedi? It was like the number 8 Star Wars.
No, I
Well,
stopped at
there's
3.
There's this one phrase where like Luke is talking to Rey, and he goes, "Everything you said in that last sentence was wrong." So like the matzo balls, yes, they can be very bland, but one of the cornerstones of what makes a matzo ball and what our grandmothers and great grandmothers were making, matzo balls by weight should have a fair amount of schmaltz.
Right.
And if they have a lot of schmaltz in there,
then they're
they're
flavor.
going to have a lot of flavor.
This is true. And this is one of the lost arts is that people don't boil their own chickens or they don't render, they don't keep the fat. And that's why today's presenting sponsor, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. I love them so much because you go in there, not only can you get the great whole chickens, antibiotic free and all hormone free, and to use to start your soup, but you could ask for however X amount, a pound of schmaltz, and they have it back there because they have all these chickens and they actually keep all the chicken fat. So pro tip for all you home cooks, if you want to make a really good matzo ball soup and matzo balls, go into Delaware and pick up your schmaltz. So When you make your own, again, you're using the pack, but do you ever get to blend in some schmaltz, or how does that work,
Well,
Lois?
the fat rises to the top,
Mhm.
and then you have to decide how much you want to skim off
Mhm.
to keep your cholesterol down,
Mm.
and how much to leave in so it has some consistency.
Yeah.
So
And
that's the battle.
that is another balance. And it's one of the things that when I go and I get soup and sometimes to go, and then I don't have the whole quart, I put it in the fridge. And if it stays a liquid form, then you know that all the fat has been rendered, or it's a commercial product that's just made from a powder. Whereas, well, we're going to be tasting your own later. And you say that when I put it in the fridge, what happens?
The liquid turns to jelly, and the top turns to solid chicken fat.
Wow. And the jelly that it turns to, can I then scoop it out and put it on my gefilte fish, like out of the jar?
Yeah, it's chicken jelly. It's mine is chicken feet jelly.
What is the jelly that's in the gefilte fish jar? This is one of the mysteries of life that I haven't
That's a
figured
good
out.
question.
It's the collagen that has been converted to gelatin from the fish bones that they make the fish. stock with.
Wow. Thank you. I want to stick around with this guy because unlike Defo, Defo's not here to defend himself. I again was just the messenger of what he said about matzo balls. But it was funny when I went around tasting different matzo ball soups over the last couple of weeks. A lot of them did have, let's say, there was more flavor contained in the broth around it. And again, we're here to judge matzo ball soup. So it's not just the matzo balls themselves. They are just one component among, and what for you, well, I'm going to go around, when you talk about broth, matzo balls, or the accoutrements, the vegetables and the noodles, which is the
Number one is broth. Broth is the most important thing. And for me, I could always make good broth, and it's gotten better and better. But I've only been able to make a good matzo ball over the past 18 months. And for years, even like as a trained chef, working for like a James Beard award-winning chef, I could never make a good matzo ball. And I tried and I tried and I tried. And then a year and a half ago, I stumbled on a recipe.
What are you thinking, Danny? You going to James Beard award-winning chefs for matzo balls? You go to Bubbalas. You go to 75-year-old women.
I could not
that
make
are,
a good
like
matzo ball.
bringing their shopping bags home from ShopRite
No.
or Wallbounds
Well,
or something.
Because I would try and use like my chef brain and be like, oh, maybe I'll add some herbs and this and that, and try and make it more interesting. And that didn't work. And not until a year and a half ago, I found this recipe based on science that my matzo balls come out delicious. And they're
Okay.
still not the best. There's plenty of people that make a better one.
Did you have
But
a
I'm happy
grandmother
with it.
that made matzo balls, and did you ever hit her up for the recipe?
My grandmother was a terrible, terrible cook.
Mine too.
Which
Terrible.
explains why he got into the kitchen and now has been killing it with all his restaurants.
My mom could make good broth, but not good matzo balls.
Okay. Well, my grandmother, Grandma Mary, rest in peace, and she called them Kanadalach, right? There's kreplach are the Jewish wontons, and Kanadalach were the matzo balls. And she made it great because she had the secret weapon, which was the blue seltzer bottles, which you no longer see in Brooklyn, where the seltzer man would lug these cases up the stairs in the apartments, and she would put into her matzo ball mix a shot of the seltzer. So it got really nice. Lois, what is the most important component of a matzo ball soup to you?
I agree with Danny about the broth. It's a fine line between it being too fatty and too thin. And that's the line I'm always.
What about
trying to-
salinity and seasoning? Because a lot of times down here they under season the broth because so many people have medical conditions, high blood
Yeah.
pressure.
I hardly put in any salt. And my husband will be like this with the salt because I put in so little.
And so you always salt to taste.
Yeah.
So it's an individual thing.
Yeah.
Jessica, what for you is what the most important thing about a matzo ball soup?
Yeah, I agree. I think the worst thing you can do is add too much salt. Whenever I don't like matzo ball soup, it's too salty.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
There we go.
that's important.
We have judges with their own criteria, and we'll see.
Ashunda. Ashunda. There is the right amount of salt. There is the right amount of
That's a
salt
chef.
for anything.
That's it. Hey, let's take our first break, and then we're going to bring in soup number 3. Again, judges, save your spoons because spoons are on a limited basis. We do have these handy-dandy napkins that you could wipe off your spoons if you don't want to cross-pollinate between the different soups. We don't want to alter the flavor. Let us take our first break today, and then we'll be back with more on this special matzo ball showdown, throwdown edition of the Lunchbox after these words. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boys with a When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. All right, we are back on the Lunchbox. We're at 26 Degrees Brewing Company, Pompano Beach, 2600 East Atlantic Boulevard. I am with Lois Solomon from the Sun Sentinel, Jessica Tzikas, the new editor of the Jewish Journal, and Danny Serfer, restaurateur extraordinaire. You know him from his hits such as Mignonette down in Miami and Blue Collar in Miami, where we were last month, and we had a fine time there, sir. Thank you
That was
again
fun.
for the
Thank you.
hospitality. I understand that it's Burger Month and that great burger that you have revamped, and I loved it. That for Burger Month, you're offering some specials. Is that right?
Oh yeah, every Tuesday for lunch and dinner for the month of May, it's a buy one get one burger with our homemade fries, and then all week long you can get a buy one get one burger during happy hour from 4 to 7.
Wow, that sounds like a good deal. So BOGO, two
BOGO.
people, no sharing charge or anything like that.
No, you buy a burger, get another burger. Normally it's a $25 burger, so that's a pretty good deal.
$12.50 for that quality of burger is a good deal. It is Burger Month all month long. Our man Seth Gonzalez, I think he's off doing cartwheels somewhere and probably eating lots of burgers. We're going to miss Seth. We're going to be out at Gilbert's 17th Street Grill in Fort Lauderdale on Thursday and going to be celebrating Burger Month with Lenore and Beth on Thursday. Some of my favorite burgers in South Florida and in Fort Lauderdale. Can't wait for that. And meanwhile, we have sampled soup number 3 during the break. And judges, I'll give a little visual description. It looks like a nice clear broth, again, herb flecked matzo ball. I see dill in the matzo ball mix itself, and some carrots and celery, but I don't see any noodles in this one. I'll start with you, Danny. What did we think of soup number 3?
I like the matzo ball very much. Good flavor. There might have been some schmaltz in that one. I don't know. And the soup was pretty good, although no noodles.
Soup was good, no noodles. Is there a demerit in your world for no noodles?
No, there's no demerit, but there is the opposite of demerit.
Okay.
Demerit?
I don't know what it is. It's just kind of
extra
neutral.
merit.
No, okay, that's good. And Jessica, what did you think of soup 3?
Yeah, this was my favorite matzo ball so far. Probably the best consistency. I didn't love the chicken, and I don't love that there's no noodles. That's a demerit for me.
Yes.
And there was chicken in it, this one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's chicken.
Oh, there's chicken in
Yeah.
it. Okay, interesting. And Lois, what did you think?
This is the best one so far. The matzo ball had a really good consistency. I would just take off 1 point because it needed some salt.
Okay, there we go. It seems like a consensus has arrived here. A good matzo ball, good looking matzo ball, apparently good consistency. So that's soup number 3. We're gonna again save our spoons, and but again, you could alternate and switch your spoons around and wipe it off, so we don't have any kind of soup intermingling, because we want to have each soup judged on its own merits. And yeah, if they're ready for soup number 4, we are too. And I guess, Lois, you didn't used to do a lot of food coverage, but it's kind of now that you've gone over to features,
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
become more along, what you do. Have you, what have you found on your food travels? And do you go a little bit of every place, or is it just mainly in Palm Beach County?
No, Broward also.
Yeah.
We're always looking for creative approaches. I love Mediterranean food, so I've been having a lot of fun writing about all the new Mediterranean restaurants we're getting in South Florida. And Sun Sentinel readers love to read about food, so it's been a good match for our team to write about food a lot.
Oh, yeah, and it always seems to get a lot of engagement. People,
Yeah.
It's what I explain to people when I moved from being the news and political columnist at the Sun Sentinel
I remember.
to the food critic, and shocked a lot of people. And food has always been a passion of mine. I love it. I love talking about
Thank
it.
you.
I love eating. And people would say, how do you go to the food? It's just like, it's such a, superfluous thing. I was like, look, you can go 4 years without voting. You try going 4 years without eating. So
Right.
that explains
Right?
the importance of food, which I know my man Danny appreciates. All right, we've got soup number 4 in front of us. I also see a fluffy, also a herb laden matzo ball. I see pieces of chicken. I see a relatively clear broth with a little bit of fat globules pooling at the top. I see carrots, and I see some wide noodles that look to be like a house-made noodle. Lois, I'm going to start with you. Well, I'll let you finish sampling and assessing the flavors of all the components. But what do we think of soup number 4?
The matzo ball is kind of a glob of blandness. Even though I see the flecks of dill, I'm not getting a lot of flavor. The broth is fine, and it's a nice big chunk of chicken. But I would take off points for the matzo ball.
Okay. And again, a matzo ball is a critical element of a matzo ball soup. Danny, what did you think of soup 4?
I like the matzo ball, actually. I thought it had a good texture. It was pretty light. I like this chicken in here because it looks like it's dark meat, so I'm a big fan of that.
Dark meats means more flavor, right?
I think so. And then this one had noodles, but not the good noodles I like.
So
they got a little over saturated and like big and wide and
big, wide, and
probably not their fault.
Can you tell? Fresh. Do you think that one is like a house-made noodle? Like
no, absolutely
not.
Definitely not a house-made noodle.
Okay.
No one's making homemade noodles for matzo ball soup.
Okay. Interesting.
No one.
Nobody. Huh?
Nobody.
Some people might.
That is not that juice. Imagine you're doing a Seder for your big family full of Jewish complainers. That juice is not worth the squeeze. Making noodles that everyone's going to bitch about no matter what.
All right. I'm going to just take a bite of that. Okay. I see what you're saying. All right. So that is soup number 4. We're already 4 down. Only 1 to go. And tell you what, I think maybe we will get the soup number 4 ready and take break number 2. And that way we'll come back and wrap up the soup tasting portion, and then we'll let Danny bring his own soup out. But again, we're going to first award it Judge's Choice Champion. And so, the Sun Sentinel, they've been doing these best ofs for, I guess it's almost a year, or I've lost track of time, but they've done pizza, they've done bagels, they've done, Mexican food, they've done steakhouses, they've done pretty much everything. But this is only the second time where, besides having a people's choice, we're also having a blind taste testing of a component. We did it for pizza, and there was a split decision because the people's choice was Antonio's Pizza of Dania, and they also have a location in Hollywood. But the judge's choice was Sicilian Oven, and they have multiple locations. But all the judges, it was a unanimous decision where we just thought the pizzas that were presented to us that day like the Sicilian Oven had just the best quality cheese, sauce, components, dough, everything, and that took home the judge's crown. So it'll be interesting this time to see if the people's choice, which is going to be revealed later this week in the Sun Sentinel, coincides with the judge's choice. We will find that out pretty soon. But let's take break number 2, and we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Wan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Wan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and information.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It is the special matzo ball battle, Sun Sentinel Reader's Choice, and now we're going to have the Judges Award going to be handed out soon. We are on already soup number 5. The trains are running on time. That's a good thing here at Lunchbox headquarters, but I apologize. First of all, I got 2 apologies. Number 1, I blew it yesterday with the contest. I completely missed the fact that there was an entry that didn't even require a tiebreaker. She nailed all 3 elements on the this week's 10 Palms Lunchbox contest. Again, Joe Beja, thank you to him. But it was at the, I thought that nobody had all 3 components, but as we found out yesterday, it was, and now, of course, I'm forgetting exactly who it was, but she too will win the lunch for 2 package at 10 Palms. And I know it's a friend of Blanche Maine's, but who was it? It was Dorothy Morell. And again, apologies, because Dorothy Morell picked the winner of the Gulfstream contest race, number 2 tank. She also had the restaurant, which was Rosa Mexicana, which was a blending of both the Kentucky Derby and Cinco de Mayo yesterday. Rosa and Mexicana. Thank you. Clever. Somebody got it. And number 3, she nailed the winner of the Kentucky Derby, Sovereignty. So again, my apologies, profuse apologies to Dorothy Morell. You have won the contest. Now, because I messed up, I pay out of my pocket, and even that means, John, you still will get awarded a brunch package. And because of our friend Mark Falsetto at Taco Craft, who is now kicking in and awarding every week to the runner-up in the contest. And yesterday, it means the 3rd place winner, Gloria Sikowski, gets a $50 gift card to Taco Craft. We had a great time yesterday for Cinco de Mayo. We didn't let a little rain dampen our spirits, and it did clear up, and they had a nice block party last night. All right, now, apology number 2. I completely missed Jessica and your notes and your thoughts on soup number 4.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you went out, but I can hear you a little. Probably for the best, because I didn't really love that one. I liked the chicken. The chicken was
We're
really
talking
good.
soup number 4.
The last soup, not this one.
Yep.
But I didn't like the matzo ball, and I did not like the noodles. They were mushy. I don't know if that's from travel, but
okay,
they weren't very good.
And they were wider. And
yes, they were wider, but they just,
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was soup number 4. Now we're on to soup number 5, and you might as well start off what you thought. And let me give it just a little bit of a description here. I know we have it in front of us, but if I try to show it to the camera, all the soup spills all over the soundboard, and then Luby gets very angry at me. So yes, he doesn't like that. This looks like a very, I guess I would call it a minimalist soup. Clear broth, and no carrots, no chicken, no vegetables, but there are a lot of thin noodles, what my grandma used to call lokshin, the thin egg noodles, and a very big and apparently fluffy matzo ball, but I don't see any herbs in it. Jessica, what did you think of soup number 5?
Yeah, very plain. Not too much flavor. I like the broth, but I don't like that there's no veggies, and it's just kind of flavorless, I think.
Danny?
This was my least favorite, easily. Even though it had the right noodles.
Right noodles, wrong.
No, not enough salt in the broth or the matzo ball. The texture of the matzo ball was pleasant, but I agree. Like no chunk, no chicken, no celery, no carrot. Come on.
Yeah, pleasant, but not delivering much in the flavor department. Okay, and Lois, last but not least, what did you think of soup number 5?
I disagree with everyone. I thought this was a really good one. When I saw it, I didn't see any color, so I was expecting to be disappointed, but there was something really comforting about it. I thought the broth had a thickness. It probably had some fat in it. I just found it very soothing.
All right. Well, we have a huge divergence of opinion on this one, and this is what makes food and contests so darn fun, because it's subjective, and what one person likes, another person might not like, and that's why I came along as a critic, and I could decree which one is actually the best. But even though I am sitting this one out, but we're going to be tabulating all the scores and then awarding a champion. And then we're going to have Danny, Mr. Cocky over here, come in and bring his soup, because he was talking smack like, oh, I make
I don't remember saying. I don't remember talking smack.
No,
I remember saying, oh, I'd like to bring mine too, just to see how it measures up.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth, but you do.
Although I don't want her trying mine now. After that.
No,
she's going to hate mine. If she loved this, she's going to hate mine.
Okay, yours will not be eligible for any awards. No Michelin stars, no James Beards for your matzo ball. So, but I do want to taste it, because I'm intrigued by somebody who does things, with the proper way, where you actually boiling chickens and having chicken feet. He's got chicken feet in there.
Lots of chicken feet.
Wow. Okay. And again, there's a lot of collagen in there. Is that collagen?
The chicken foot has the most amount of collagen that converts to gelatin, so it gives you the most luxurious mouthfeel of the broth.
Oh, he's talking mouthfeel. He sounds like a foodie. All right.
That's too deep.
All right. Everybody has their scores in place. We're going to take our third break now, and then we'll come back and hopefully figure out who is the champion of the judges' blind tasting after these words on the Lunchbox.
Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch, with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly, and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them
that the Lunchbox sent you.
If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Monday. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. The results are in. All the 5 finalists have been taste tested blindly. And I got to say, because I knew every soup as soon as it was presented, because I'm a sick pup, and I went around and ate at all 5 finalists in the past couple of weeks. I took photographs of them, of the soups in their natural habitat, and I tasted them, and I took my own notes. And I'm just going to say that the soup that came out the least favorite in mine might be emerging as a champion today. And that just goes to show you not just the subjectivity of food taste, Dan Serfer, but also consistency of kitchens and how things maybe travel as opposed to eating it in-house. What do you find in terms of how do you maintain consistency day to day in your kitchens and restaurants?
It comes down to having the right people and the same people day in and day out doing the same thing. So we've been fortunate enough to have most of the same staff with us for anywhere between 8 and 13 years at Blue Collar. And when you have the same people doing the same thing for that amount of time, you're gonna get the right result.
Yeah. And what about you as a consumer and restaurant goer, Lois? Do you find also that that you have inconsistencies, and we see this on Let's Eat. That somebody just posted something the other day about they went to a place in Wellington. The first time they went there, they thought the place was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then they went back for a second visit, and they said it was horrible, and they might not ever go back except they had a good experience the first time. But do you find that as well when you go out?
Yeah, for sure. Like last week, I ate at Dada in Delray Beach,
Yep.
and I remembered it so lovingly. And last week, it wasn't as great as I remembered. So yeah, for sure.
Dada is one of those places, really pretty. They do a really nice job. It's the Subculture Group, and his name is Rodney Mayo, no relation. But people love that place, and I've always been like, on the food. You know,
Yeah.
you got the bacon wrapped dates and some things, but very pretty outdoor location there in Delray Beach. So yeah, it's a constant battle. All right, I'm not going to dilly dally any longer. I just want to make sure that I do have the proper. We're gonna go. I'm gonna announce, I guess, a top 3, and it wasn't even close. I mean, basically, the winner had 13 points. I did a point system depending on where they were ranking, but we'll start with in third place with. I don't even need to go into the points, but third place was Grandpa's, which is my favorite deli, and Grandpa's great old school. Well, it started off as a diner for a long time, and then two New York deli / bagel bakers took it over about 3 or 4 years ago, and is now kind of a classic style bagel and appetizing store. Great bagels, and Clive that used to work at Sage is there. All right, Grandpa's came in third place. Second place, up in Delray Beach, 3G's Deli, which has been around for over 40 years. So they must be doing something right to survive in Delray Beach and be able to, please the people. And they basically family-run place. Couple of brothers. Bruce is the owner now. He's been there a long time, and they came in second. All right, you ready for it? The award-winning blind taste judges champion for the Sun Sentinel matzo ball soup competition is 2J's. 2J's Deli,
Oh my God.
which takes a lot of crap on the Let's Eat group. People are saying, oh, it's not a real deli. And no, they're not kosher. They do have ham and bacon sandwiches there. But 2J's Deli, which has multiple locations, and I will disclose, I picked it up this morning, this batch from the Dania Beach location. They didn't know who I was. The order was placed in advance. And let me get the thoughts. We'll go around the room. But Lois, what do you think of 2J's being the champion?
You always want a little mom and pop place to win. But I'm a patron of 2J's, so I'm glad they won. And I like the way they're all over the place and they keep the deli culture going. And it's all good.
Jessica?
Yeah, I agree. I also am a fan of 2J's. I don't know if people will be happy to hear that, but it's consistent, and I think they know how to do takeout food too. So it was just good.
Dan Serfer.
The Triple J has been one of my favorite sandwiches for 30 plus years. And they had the little noodles. I'm not surprised. Good for them.
Good for them.
I don't think they had any noodles, did they?
Yeah, they were the first one.
No, that was
that was a second.
Grandpa's. This was number 3. You had 3?
Oh yeah, no noodles.
3.
3 was no noodles. And again, when I went in there, they do have a chicken noodle soup, and I imagine you could go into 2J's and ask to throw some noodles in your matzo ball soup. But the way it was when you just order a matzo ball soup there, it is also minimalist. And it's funny that the matzo ball, which is really, flecked with the herbs and the dill, when I was there, it didn't have any flavor, and it actually tasted a little bit old. So it's just so. But congratulations to 2J's. I mean, they are getting it done, consistency, and now here we go, lightning round with. Thank you very much for spending part of your weekend slaving over a hot stove, boiling chickens and chicken feet, and. I got to say, well, you know what? I'll let the other judges go first about Danny Serfer's matzo ball soup, which is offered, holidays only?
We do it for all the Jewish holidays, Passover, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Hanukkah by request.
All right, I am digesting nice chunks of chicken here, very finely diced carrots, onions, and celery. But it seems like Jessica has already taken her taste.
Yeah, no, I'm
Go
not,
ahead. You
I'm
can be
not
honest.
just saying this because you're sitting here, but this is really, really good.
Oh, thank you.
Like I want to take this bowl home, and it was good. The matzo ball's perfect. It's different from the other ones, but it's very comforting, and it's good.
Thank you.
Lois?
It's a very unique broth. I'm curious what the ingredients are. How do you do it?
It's just whole chicken, chicken feet, chicken legs, and carrot, celery, onion.
No spices.
A little dill.
Okay.
Little dill in the broth, but not in the matzo ball itself, right?
No, I found that keeping the balls just straight, I think yields the best, most pure flavor. Like these ones are a very high ratio of egg and chicken fat to matzo meal.
And I'm digging in. I dig it. I mean, and again, you're right. Defo is wrong because your matzo ball has flavor. You can taste the schmaltz in it. Mm-hmm. And you're also right. I don't know how many of these restaurants now use commercial made matzo balls, or if it's not like they have some grandmother in the kitchen forming, balls with matzo meal. It might be machine produced. I mean, the one that we saw that was from Ben's is that big round. It looks like two perfectly round to be. It's got to be coming out of some sort of machine process.
No, man. We just use ice cream scoops for everything.
Ice cream
So we
scoops.
take a big ice cream scoop and then we
that
roll it
looked
up.
too uniform. Too uniform.
Well, because the same guy's probably been doing it for 30 years, and he can do it and make it perfect, a perfect circle every time after so many years.
Okay. Well, you're not to get too personal.
My
but
daughter.
Your balls are my style.
I don't want to. I don't want to tug on your heartstrings too much and make you think even higher of the soup. But my 9-year-old daughter actually rolled the matzo balls.
Oh my goodness.
That's why it's so good.
See, that's
So-
why it's so good. It has that personal touch. You can feel the love, and you really can. I mean,
I didn't want to say that before and jade you, but now, like my 9-year-old daughter was up with me late on Sunday
Well,
doing this.
again,
So
I love
it's not going to work. It's not eligible for any prizes, but you do.
Well-
You have won my heart, and I was going to say the broth. Again, you can taste the real chicken in it.
homemadeness.
You can taste the schmaltz, the fat, the love that went into it. A little bit salty, but that's all I'm going to say.
Compared to the others, yeah.
Compared to the others,
Yeah.
but as you yourself say, it needs some seasoning.
This one, as I was sitting here judging, it may have reduced on the range warming up a little much,
Mhm.
which can make it seem saltier than it should be.
Okay.
Like,
It's good though. It's like a good amount of salt.
Yeah, it's not. Thank you.
It's not overpowering,
Thank
which
you.
can ruin it.
And you know me, I can never let go of being that guy, that critic. The one,
No. I mean, look, anything you have to say, I'm always going to take with the utmost.
a grain of salt.
No, not grain of salt.
no.
Appreciation and
No.
respect.
And I do it from a place of love. It is a superior soup. So if you ever get a chance for the holidays, Blue Collar does do catering for all the major Jewish holidays. Address of Blue Collar again is Biscayne Boulevard.
6789 Biscayne Boulevard.
That's right. Straight 6789.
Yeah.
That's how I remember.
Highly
it.
straight. 4 to it.
Hey, I think that's going to do it. Do we have any other breaks to take? Do we have any other things to mention, except for the fact that tomorrow we're going to be working overtime, a little double header on the Lunchbox. We're going to be spending the morning at Grandpa's for a pre-Mother's Day show. We're going to have some bagels and lox with our man Freed. Hopefully he'll still let us in, even though Grandpa's did not emerge as the judge's choice, but maybe the people's choice. That's still up in the air. It's going to be revealed on sunsentinel.com later this week. So there is still suspense in terms of, will it be a split decision again, like it was with pizza, or will there be a clean sweep of both the people's choice, reader's choice, and the judge's choice? And then 4 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to be doing Grandpa's at 10:30, and then we're going to be going up to our friend Sophia at Taverna Kima up in Boca Raton. That's also on Federal Highway. And they are going to be getting ready for a big Mother's Day celebration this weekend. I don't know if they're going to be roasting any lambs like they did for Easter, but always a treat to get in there for their happy hour, which is also a fantastic deal. And I think that's going to do it for today.
Can we-
Danny Serfer,
Can we
yes.
say one more nice thing about
Yeah.
our host, 26 Degrees?
Yes, please do. Thank you.
26 Degrees, 26 Degree Brewery and Kitchen. We've been here for 10 years making beer, and now we make food and are open for lunch and dinner every day.
And
It's a great big place. You could have so many people in your party, and we won't turn you away. Unlike most restaurants,
So-
you can show up with like 20 and be like, "Sure, have a seat."
yeah, it's a big, very
huge. It's an old
spacious,
Winn-Dixie.
kind of industrial setting here on Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach, which is also a booming area. Now, I didn't realize, because when I looked online, it said that the brewery was open like 3 p.m. during the week. Is it open now for lunch
Yes.
all throughout the week? So
Yeah,
it
12
is
o'clock.
a lunch option every day. We're going to come back because we got to check out some of the items that you created, and I will withhold all my critical notes until after the show next time. No, but what's some of the things that they can find?
We got
here?
We have the hand pie. We have what we call a pompano beef dip, which is our homemade roast beef with oxtail and jus for dipping with hot jardiniere. We have an amazing fish and chips that's super light that we make with our beer.
Oh, nice. Beer battered with the house brew. Nice.
And then we have this sausage stew. It's actually traditionally called an Irish coddle. And it's a sausage and potato stew made with Irish bangers, caramelized onions, smoked bacon, and stout. And we make the stout that we make in it.
And unlike the matzo ball soup at Ben's Deli, that Irish sausage stew most decidedly not kosher. So
Not even
not
close.
close. So, Danny, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming. And again, thanks to Jonathan and David, the general manager here, for letting us set up shop and do our great wine tasting. Lois, any final words, parting thoughts?
This was really fun. It was really fun to work with you guys, and
Yeah,
pleasure.
It's all good. Maybe we'll do it again soon with another Sun Sentinel food item. Jessica, any final thoughts and what's coming up in Jewish Journal in terms of anything that you wanted to
Yeah,
promote?
no, this was great. Great way to spend the afternoon, not in front of my computer. Yeah, that comes out every week. Next week, Lois was writing about a temple merger, so
Okay.
that's exciting.
All right. Where, in
Think I-
Boca or?
Broward.
Broward.
Colamy.
What?
Colamy.
That's
Colamy.
oh, you a member?
Yeah,
I grew up, like all my friends' bar mitzvahs were there.
See that?
So I've been following this
Yeah.
story.
Such a small world. Who knew? Again, thanks to our colleagues, my former colleagues at the Sun Sentinel, Melina DeRose, features editor, Carrie Bennett, who is going to, I got my names, Amy Beth Bennett, photojournalist, Carrie Barnett, who is going to be writing up the all the results, including this. I'm going to call it an upset. I'm going to call it a little bit of a shocker. But congratulations to 2J's Deli. You are the judges' champion on the Sun Sentinel's matzo ball soup competition. That's going to do it for today. Thank you, Luby, for all your hard work. We'll see everybody tomorrow, bright and early at Grandpa's. Until then, enjoy every soup and sandwich